A few minutes without this one thing and lights out. I'm Dr. Joel Feeman, and today I want to talk with you about oxygenation. If you recall from previous discussions, we've talked about the 4 essentials, the 4 most important things that your body must have in order to heal and be at its best. We talked about the 4 essentials because it really stems from the principle of toxicity and deficiency. There are certain things that can be toxic to your body that hinder your body from being as healthy as God created you. But in the same sense, your body needs certain things to be able to function at its very best. And so there are certain things then because of that if your body is deprived of, you cannot exist. The 4 most important essentials that your physical body must have, and if you don't have them, if you're completely deprived of them, your body cannot survive at all. With these 4 essentials, we've talked about how it's broken down into nutrition, hydration, oxygenation, and healthy nerve supply. We've talked in the past about nutrition, being that most people either don't know or they don't really care about what they put into their body. The people who don't care, we can't do too much about them. But in the same sense, the people who don't know, but they desire health, we can certainly empower them with truth and knowledge so they know exactly what it takes to not just get healthy, but also in doing those things to also avoid certain things in the form of nutrition that could be causing the body to be toxic. The other thing we talked about has to do with hydration. Hydration, you can go for a couple days without hydration before your body's cells are so in need but can't get it that you expire. We talked about how 75% of Americans, if you Google dehydrated Americans, you're going to find that about 75% of people with the cells are needing hydration, but yet they're not getting it, and therefore the person becomes unhealthy. In fact, many side effects that people have are signs of mineral imbalance as well as severe dehydration. Today, though, as I mentioned previously, I want to talk with you about oxygenation. Now, it's common sense to many people that we need oxygen, right? It's also common knowledge to most people that if you're deprived of oxygen for a few moments, you become hypoxic, which means the lack of oxygen where the body needs it, and as a result of that, you lose consciousness and therefore pass away. So for illustration purposes, I want to talk about a suffocation or a drowning victim. Now, God forbid that's ever happened to somebody you know and love, but for the purpose of the illustration, I want to be very clear the fact that all the organs were designed and capable of living a long, healthy, vibrant life. But when those organs are deprived of oxygen, the body cannot do what it's designed and created to do. So our body's blood flow needs to be enrichedly oxygenated to be able to provide those cells what it needs to thrive. Sadly, because our culture has become more sedentary in nature, we find ourselves sitting too long. Whether it be watching TV or at the computer, whatever the case may be, because of that sedentary lifestyle, we're lacking the movement and the deep breathing to oxygenate our bodies. You don't have to necessarily put on yoga pants and a headband to be able to get out there and move around. A simple walk, whether every morning or every evening, can do wonders. Get in a habit of parking out a little bit further in the parking lot. Take deep breaths every time you get to a stoplight. Just create the habits and the routines so you're first and foremost conscious about oxygenation, and then you develop the habits to be able to do these on a regular basis. I personally try to go for a walk pretty much every day, and during that walk, a large portion of it is not just having an attitude of gratitude or I'm thanking God for all the blessings in my life, but I'm focusing on my breathing to make sure I'm doing the best I can to get my blood supply, the oxygen that it needs to nourish the cells that are in need of it. Many times you'll find that Asian and European countries have longer lifespans and less health complications overall, in part because of their habits and lifestyles associated with oxygenation. So whether it's walking or riding their bikes, to and from work or just for activity levels, or maybe it's yoga or Tai Chi where they're being intentionally focused on their breathing. The main thing is that because they're oxygenating, they're reaping the benefits of that, and it's improving their overall health. Another thing in addition to that has to do with your posture. The reality is that when you have good posture, you're opening up not just the nerve channels so your brain, your body can communicate better with less interference, but even from a simple standpoint, if I stand up nice and straight, the research suggests that I can have a 30% greater oxygenation because I'm able to breathe more, whereas if you're more slouched over and your posture is kind of in more of like that retirement shuffle, so to speak, or granny posture, then what happens is as gravity is pushing down, that's also going to then prevent the body from moving the way that it's supposed to, to. So not only is there nerve system interference that's causing a neurological interference potentially, but then also even if you wanted a deep breath in, you can't get it because of poor posture. Whereas when you stand up straight and you have good curve in your neck and shoulders back, then you can actually increase your lung capacity, increase oxygenation, increase health. Listen, when it comes to your chiropractic care, always remember that it goes beyond just helping you to feel better. It's about improving your biomechanics and your posture so you're at your best so you can function and heal better. But it's not just about improving your biomechanics and reducing subluxation interference. It's also about, as you go through these journeys, of learning what it takes to keep it that way, to prevent subluxations and interference from your nervous system from occurring in the first place. As you continue with your chiropractic recommendations, make sure you're making every effort possible to look at other areas of your life. So not only are you following your recommendations in terms of your adjustments and home rehab and things of that nature, but you're looking for the ways to improve your nutrition, your hydration, your oxygenation, and do the things that are needed to be able to produce the health that you desire and dream of. One of the great things about health is the fact that your health is in your hands. So in other words, you can choose to be proactive instead of reactive. You can take control of your life and you can choose the level of health you want, set the path and the efforts, and go after it so you can achieve that. Again, I'm Dr. Joel Feeman, here to help empower you with truth and knowledge so that way you and your family know what it takes to not just get healthy, but stay healthy. Until next time, God bless.